Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Randomania 1. My name is PMAK File. We're here for the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise Monday Night Community Race. We've got 4 fantastic runners, Zman, Shamstron, Mechalink, and Poidrac. I'm joined here with Flory14. How are you doing?
Hey, doing good. Looking forward to
Good.
this race. Think we got a pretty quick flag set ready for y'all here.
Good, Flory. You want to tell us a little bit about the flags tonight?
You bet. Well, first and foremost, we are running with the V2 flag. This means this is giant percent. So the go mode we are looking for is the darkness crystal. The goal is beat the boss, whoever it may be, at the CPU spot. So pretty much how everybody's going to be planning their strategies is going to be around what bosses are there. Don't have to worry about finding the crystal. It'll still be there. If you really want to go see Zeramus, you can, but it's probably not going to be terribly helpful. The other things we got is we are running free lunch and zero. This means that Edward at Troy Castle will have a key item. That's always nice. You will also see a lot of character recruitment spots. That will be important because we are also running C3. This, also known as the Edward and Tella flag, means that you only have 5 characters that are available. And whatever those 5 are, everyone in the spots is going to be a duplicate of one of those 5. So, probably going to see a lot of people as we kick it off right now. Looks like I'm going to see whether or not they prioritize that. Also, really quickly, we're also running T4 and $3. I'm sorry, S4 as well.
Edward!
And there is Edward. Oh boy. Well, Edward is now going to be required. He'll be in every single party. We're happy about this. Don't know so much about the runners. But with S4, everything is free in the shops, and there will be all kinds of basically any equipment in the game. Adamants will be there. What we will not see are J items because we are running J0. So no Star Veils. That could be a problem if you run into a couple bosses, among other things. So let's take a look and see where these guys decide to start off heading out here.
So our first key item was the pan, which really isn't going to be useful at all initially. So it looks like all of our runners are going to do a little bit of shopping. Shamstron's going to go check out who his characters are in Mysidia, because you get 2 free characters right off the bat. Edge is one of them. Ooh. And a
It's another
Duprosa.
Duprosa. Edge is super useful, though. It's going to really help you power through the early game, get through those early bosses. And because we're running S4, you're going to see Masamune's and Murasame's and all of his lovely toys in there to get him all kitted out really quick.
Yeah, finding some Excaliburs in shops there, too. Buy a stack of 99. Edge will be throwing Excalibur for days.
Speaking of which, we already have a Murasame, and we have Adamants already available in Mysidia. That's a heck of a shop right there.
That is fantastic. Z-Man picking up Edge and his dupe Rosa. We got Sylph and Cure 1s in the item shop, so not really anything we want to pick up unless we have Rydia. Sylph can be useful, but with Edge early on, probably not even going to need that.
And Poidrac picking up the Legend Sword from the Troy Castle. That does give a key item because we are running free lunch. Not really going to be helpful at all, but it is a key item. Maybe 10 key items comes into play, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, if we get to that point. Let's see.
Mechalink is not messing around buying 99 adamant armors.
You can never have too many. Maybe you can carry a few over for your next seed, right?
Yeah, he'll use one, throw it away, and then use another one. Oh. Artemis arrows in the shop there for Poidrac.
That's super useful. That's basically Edward's best weapon along with an Artemis bow. It's also going to be great to have for Rosa should we see Sid. That's going to be one of his optimal loadouts too. Alright. Well, it looks like we still have everybody shopping, hitting up the same spots. Haven't seen a lot of any of the other character recruitment locations. It's going to be kind of a big deal. And there's Tella and Baron Inn. So we have Edward and Tella. The C3 All-Stars have all come out to play.
Now, Tella in a V2 isn't actually that bad. because complete ordeals, you get Tel's full spell set with the MP underflow glitch. Since glitches are on, D Machine Grind is definitely a possibility because you're gonna find life potions in item shops, or you hopefully will find life potions in item shops. So D Machine Grind is gonna be an option. Get right up there with that, and you can grind, save, and go right into those bosses.
That's a very good point. The only catch we got is, do people want to try to skip ordeals? That kind of seems to be one of those spots that a lot of people like to put off toward the end. Is seeing Kenazo over here at the Yang spot is actually going to be pretty nice. He could be in a whole lot worse locations than this. Shams is
Yes.
probably going to wipe the floor with him right here.
Now, the biggest thing we have to think about grinding for the in the giant is that element spot. That is 90,000 HP that they're going to have to handle, and it's a pretty heavy hitting and fast spot. So once you can clear that element spot out, you're good to go. Unfortunately, glitches do not help us at all in this spot. So no Meteo from Tella, because even with an underflow, the full heal there will wipe that back to 90, and you can't go anywhere. But we have Tella in Damsian. So Z-Man is going to pick up his Tella as well.
And I did see Shams pick up the package. I don't know if we've gotten a look yet to see what the character actually is. I do feel like as soon as you can find out what those 5 characters are, it's going to save you quite a bit of time and inventory space, because you don't have to worry about saving that crystal sword or that white spear for all that, all those other characters that you think you might pull up, but they don't actually see. So let's see. Z-Man did actually check the waterway.
Yeah, Watery Pass is one of the most commonly missed character spots in the no free lunch flag when they're off, because most people don't think to go there. There's no other reason to go there generally. Another one is more commonly missed is ordeals, believe it or not.
Yeah. That's true, and it's one of the. I think a lot of people just kind of get in the back of the mind after they've run about 10 or 20 seals and put off ordeals until the very end. I don't want to have to do that, but having that extra character and finding out who that 5th character is doubly important, because we have Edward and Tella, and those two are.
Yep, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say those two are probably not going to contribute a whole lot to the last fight. So finding out who this final character is going to be is a pretty big deal.
Now, another option for doing ordeals is the Fusoya challenge is on. So 3 pretty quick boss fights to pad out his spell set if he's in the character pool. We do not know who that 5th character is. It could be Fusoya.
I think at this point, the runners would probably like to see a black mage of some kind. I do actually think that this is one of those flag sets where Rydia really comes in handy, because you get the summons at the item shops. They're free. So, a lot of things about Rydia is, unless you have that Bahamut or Leviathan, she's not really pulling the weight. You're probably going to see it here, and having an unblockable, massive amount of damage is going to be super helpful, especially if we get to the mid game.
Yeah, Edge taking down Odin with no problem from Shamstron up there.
That's actually pretty good that we've seen a couple bosses that could be troublesome in certain spots. Get them out of the way now.
Ooh, Earth Crystal. Fun. But you got 2 character possibilities 2 character spots up there. Don't really need access to the treasury in Toria there. It is T4, so anything can be in chests, minus key items. But nothing that you're not really going to find possibly in a shop, so...
Yeah, I think we haven't seen a lot of our racers actually pick up chests because of that. It doesn't seem like it's a huge time loss at first, but over the course of these seeds, we're picking up 100 to 150 treasure chests. If you're saving 5 seconds each time, that's gonna math out to, I don't want to do the math, but a whole lot of time you can save by not picking up any chests. So
now, Poidrac poked his head into Kaipo, who was sleeping there, but I did not see who that character was.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. And I think we have our first Fabul check right now. Shamstron is taking out the Dark Imps. Probably would like to see them elsewhere. And not having, one of the things about not having J items is we actually don't have access to hourglasses. That's kind of a big deal. and that it makes a lot of bosses that don't have the boss bit super trivial. And that's the Dark Imps is one of those fights. They can be kind of nasty if you can't stop them because it's three bosses doing physical attacks. Let's see what we get. Tower Key. Ooh.
Tower Key. Yep.
Well, what's looking to be pretty interesting here now is that it's probably going to require us to go to the underground. How we get there is going to be one of two ways. If we get the magma key, our runners are happy. Go to Agar, drop something down a well, and it opens up. We're all good to go. If it's the hook, however, we have to go through Cave Eblon, and whoever that boss is in the Rubicon spot is going to make people pretty salty if it's a tough one.
And our wonderful tracker Nightdew just let us know in chat that Kaipo had a duplicate Edge who is sick with desert fever, so we're not going to worry about them. We're going to let him just kind of chill out there.
Sadly, we cannot have multiple ninjas in our party.
Nope.
So
But finding adamant armor and finding those top tier weapons for Edge in shops early is big for all of our runners. So this is going to make this Earth Crystal run really easy for them.
Yeah, basically any boss now that's going to rely purely on physical attacks is not going to get the job done. Adamant armor, if you're in the back row, it's almost guaranteed 1 damage or something along the neighborhood. In the front, it's not going to be that much more, especially since we got Rosa hanging around. So, it looks like we could have a pretty easy hook boss, but let's wait and see. Could be someone pretty nasty.
Yeah, finding any of those trolley bosses like Golbez 2 adamant armor makes it nothing.
Oh, Poidrac is deciding to make the ordeals play. Or no, that's Mount Hobbs. Never mind. I got my mountains mixed up. Alright, so we got Mom Bomb up in the Maga Sister spot. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, especially since we have Adamant. You're going to see a whole lot of 1 damage.
Honestly, Mom Bomb isn't too bad other than for a time waster. Mom Bomb can eat up a lot of time because you generally, unless you're putting out massive amounts of damage, you're not going to kill that first form. Even the second form is difficult to take down before it transforms.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of damage. Probably gonna, as soon as he sees the palette swap a little bit, you might see him just try to wait it out. Although, man, Edge doing 1500, that spot is pretty nice.
Yep, and taking 1 damage with that adamant, beautiful. Looks like all of our runners have the same choice: either go up Zot or go to Ordeals. Mechalink is going to do the latter and check out Ordeals.
I actually like the early Ordeals play because you're kind of you've seen that you've got Tella and Edward. Excuse me. Not gonna have a whole lot of offense so far in your party. So, like you had mentioned earlier, getting Tella a decent amount of spells, so he can contribute. It's something you're going to have to do eventually. If it happens to hold our way to the underground, even better.
And a dupe Edward on Ordeals, so not really much. No value at all there for the character.
I guess Edward's trying to be a paladin too, but unfortunately that's not really going to work out for him pretty well.
Now, I did watch a seed earlier today. A little shout out to Invenerable Running. Watched Edward hitting 5k with his Artemis bow. So he can be useful.
Yeah.
Can be.
You know what? There he has his niche uses. Oh, Golbezlo's first spot is gonna be, well, it could be kind of a bummer. I don't think the Shadow Dragon, the instant death hits, are gonna hit with adamant armor.
They will not. Adamant armor will block that. So,
but his virus might actually take out somebody here. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see. I don't think it's gonna be that much of a problem.
Oh, Yang is our 5th character.
Okay, so we don't have anything in the way of magic offense. It's a little bit of a bummer. We don't have a lot of multi-target damage. That Tella can do some, but he's kind of missing all of our greatest hits, namely Quake. But Yang is gonna be okay, not super good, but not super bad. He's basically gonna scale with the party.
Yang is fast, and finding 2 cat claws, or
Yes.
99 cat claws, as some of our runners may choose to do, will definitely make him very useful. We're gonna see if Zot is going to require Shamstron to go to ordeals.
Just
Intel is just gonna
knowing who
take a
that
nap.
fifth character is such it's so nice. You don't have to worry. You can keep your inventory super clean, and anytime you get a shopping percentage, I can tell you from personal experience that inventory fills up really fast.
Oh, Mechalink had no problem with Golbez there.
Okay, well, Golbez, Tella's pretty happy. He got to take out Golbez, and he didn't have to cast a meteor to do it. And we have the Maggot Sisters, our second one. This shouldn't be too bad.
No, Maggot Sisters aren't bad.
Even vanilla, this wouldn't be a problem, but Adamant Armor takes all these elemental spells and laughs at them.
We're fighting that Mylon fight up there. Taking a little bit of time, but his body hurts, and he's going down. It's also nice to not have that crumble animation from that boss up there, so that's going to save a few precious seconds.
Trying to get in the habit of whenever you have those animations, you'll see a lot of people that'll take the time to actually sort out their inventory. Not as big of a deal on these flags because you're not going to be selling anything. It's one of those things you'll notice really high-end runners do. That's a nice thing to pick up. Oh, I didn't see what the item was.
Shamstron is getting the magma key. Okay, so this changes
crystal on ordeals.
Oh, that changes a lot of things. So
right.
Is Shamstron gonna go down the underground and follow that rabbit hole? He is.
Oh boy. So how we mentioned that ordeals is kind of one of those things that people want to put off, but it has the one item we need to finish this seed. Now Mechalink's probably not. Well, I don't know. Let's see what he does. He might choose to do a D machine grind right here and now.
Oh well, honestly, with the right equipment on Tella, throwing Tella in the middle spot to up his accuracy, the D machine fight. Once you find it, they only do a percentage unless he does a physical attack. His fire and the beams only do a percentage of your health. So as long as you've got some healing, you're good to go. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mechalink just rolled straight up there to do that.
Now Shams, let's see, he's looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. He's looking at 6 key items, so he's gonna get 2 freebies right away. One at the Fey March, and he's actually gonna get 3 freebies because he has the pan. So he's gonna get Sheila 1, Sheila 2. He's gonna be pretty close to 10 key items. If there's one thing that might turn the tide in his favor, it's having that double XP that comes with having 10 key items. And at this point, we know that Darkness Crystal is in a spot that's relatively early in the game, so what these guys are looking to do now is get their characters up to a location or to a point where they can, beat whoever's at that element spot.
And there's always a possibility to go in and peek that spot up there. I don't know if any of our runners have found life potions yet.
That's a good point. Doing the D machine grind does require life potions to pull off. If anybody who's not familiar with that, it does. The D machine grind is what is used in the vanilla speedrun of the game, I believe. And that is where you get a one of those searchers that summons enemies, and it constantly summons D machines. You cast weak on it, beat it up, throw a life potion on it just as it's dying. That it takes advantage of a vitality glitch, lets the game think, hey, you actually killed 2 of them. Fantastic. Rinse and repeat, and you've killed hopefully 10 D machines, and you get a ton of experience.
He is going to go up there already and check it out. Now, you get the play. Excuse me. You can always make the play of checking that boss. I believe I said that could be a free boss.
That's a very good point. If this is a boss that is super free, you might as well do it now. And man, if it is a free boss, could we be seeing a sub 30-minute seed? Oh.
Now, even a boss without life potions makes it tricky. You always want to look for elixirs too in this kind of shopping percent category we have here. But you can pull off the D Machine grind with the life spell. It just is a little bit trickier to pull off.
Yeah,
And it takes a little bit longer.
the cast time kind of throws things a little bit out of whack. Your turn order might not be as predictable as you want it to be. I did see Shams had life potions in his inventory, so Mechalink might have it in his.
He's going to peek this boss.
Poidrac also making the Mount Ordeal's play, so he is now in the same position that Mechalink's in.
Dark Elf, it's free. It's a free fight. All he has to do is transform him, and then his dragon form is susceptible to weak. Weak in one hit will take him down.
And Dark Elf is only his in the first form. His attacks are, what you're seeing now, the elemental fights and a piggy spell, which I don't think is going to hit. Weak, that's the third thing that will hit, but he's fast.
We got darts. As long as you can get Tella up and get that weak off on him, he's golden.
Yeah. Oh man, this could be a record time. Tricky thing is, he is fast, and especially going into a party at this low level, he's going to get a lot of turns.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and he's going to go ahead and berserk Edge, so Edge is going to be doing some high damage here. He's probably going to want to get some healing on Tella at least. I can't believe I said that, but he's going to want to keep Tella up. Shamstron fighting Octomam. I think I wasn't paying attention if he went to the top of...
Yeah, that's the top of the tower. So he's going to get 10 key items relatively quickly.
And Z-Man just got his magma key. So he is probably going to run the exact same play as Shamstron.
Yep. Now what could be bad for Shams here is if he ends up deciding going down a rabbit hole. If he picks up a twin harp, well, twin harp would be great for us. Could we get some awesome music?
Yeah,
but not great for his time, as we see Mechalink could be about 5 to 10 minutes or less than that away from going to the final boss, which is incredible at this time.
He healed Edward. Why?
You never know. Well, if we didn't have weak on him, we would have the Artemis arrows, and I believe that is also Dark Elf second form is susceptible to that as well.
Yep. He is weak to Artemis arrows, and he need the dragon equipment, or dragoon equipment, dragon equipment, things like that. But yeah, once he changes, we're good to go. Get a nice chunk of experience from this fight as well.
We're berserking Edward. When was the last time you saw a berserked Edward? It's an angry bard. Watch out. He's assaulting you with music and arrows everywhere you see.
It looks like everyone's berserked right now except for Tella, which that I'm not 100% sure I would agree with that, because if by some accident Tella is killed, you're screwed.
Well, I think the only threat is if he allows the Dark Elf to get an attack in between weak and when he goes to his fire, ice, and lit twos, which aren't even going to do that much anyway, but you could get a bad roll on weak. I think as long as he leaves it queued up, here we go. Me change.
He's got weak queued up. Just don't hit Tella. Oh, one damage. We're good.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, look at Artemis arrows doing massive damage on him.
And is Edward
Edward gets the kill? There he goes. All right.
22 minutes in, and we're going to see the final boss. What is the seed?
I did not see the key item in the Land of the Summoned Monsters.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Looks
Sand
like
Ruby.
It was Sand Ruby, yeah.
All right, and Poidrac is going to do the D-Machine grind, so you're going to get a chance to see how the D-Machine grind actually works. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to go check it out.
Good call.
We're going to get a good save down here. What kind of big level ups here?
All right, well, Let's see who this last boss is. One of the things about the CPU spot is I believe it actually has the highest magic stat other than Zeramus in the game.
But
Chat
it is
can correct me if I'm wrong, but it does have its problems.
it is not a it's not a very high HP spot, so it's
Yeah.
a fairly easy fight to take in. Now a troll here could be a problem, so we'll see what's going on. It's the evil wall.
I don't think this is gonna
I
be
don't-
physical at all. We're gonna see a sub 30 seed. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I think at this point, just berserk everybody. Even Tella's Cure 4 with 4 adamant armors is going to be just fine.
I mean, depending on how close he gets, you could also just hide Edward and let Evil Wall kill himself.
And we do have a first place finish. Hippo's getting it done at 22 minutes and 59 seconds. Which I can't believe I'm saying
Wow.
that. But here we are.
And I wonder if if our other runners, Z-Man, Shamstron, Poidrac, will see that not done and say, "Hey, I wonder if it was on Ordeals."
And Zilch's coming in number 2, 24 minutes and 40 seconds. I agree with you in that if you're running this and you see the dot done already, you'd be thinking either it's one of those first freebies underground or it was Ordeals.
Right.
I'd be surprised if we see Shamstron following any of whatever key items come out of the tower. And let's see. It looks like Poidrac is going to try to do the D machine grind. Probably just wants to make sure, being a little cautious. I totally understand, seeing that boss there. It doesn't matter who it is. Sometimes it can be super scary.
And he's done. There you go.
All right. So we had Penguinator coming in third at 25 minutes and 1 second. Mechalink 6 seconds behind him at fourth place. That is an awesome time.
That is just silly. Sub 30. Sub 30. Wonderful. We're gonna see if we can get Mechalink in here for an interview.
Yeah.
Shamstron won't be too far behind him after he gets this steam machine grind done. Not Shamstron, Poidrac. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I don't think he's gonna do that long of a D machine grind. It's always a little concerning when you don't have like a huge source of damage output. And Edge is great DPS on his own, but you see that 60,000 or 100,000 hit points in there, depending on whether or not there's multiple bosses there. It's a huge mountain to think you have to overcome. Let's see what Shams decides to do. So turn in, and it looks like he's got the Baron Key and the Twin Harp. Hopefully he avoids those, and I believe that is our special guest.
There's Mechalink. GG Mechalink.
Hello. Yeah, GG. That was fun.
Sub 30. Sub 26.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I love it.
Yeah, that's
I love it.
Sadly not first, but I mean first restream, right? So I'll take that.
Absolutely. So how happy? I mean, obviously really happy, but what were going through your mind when you saw Dark Elf in that element spot?
I was just like, yes, another free one. Boom. I'm like, Dark Elf, free one. Right, like, yes, all right, like he only has elemental attacks and weak, right, like, and then once he shape changes, right, like, I had weak from Tella, so it's just like, okay, right, like, this is a gimme, right, like, and then Evil One, I'm like, wait, I have nothing but adamants. Like,
yep.
Oh, wow, that was great. But yeah, finding adamants early is fantastic. Finding the top tier weapons for Edge early is fantastic. Oh, very kind seed.
Right, no, very kind seed, right? Like, this is when you're at shops 4 and everything's free, right? Like, you basically don't need to check chests, right? Like, you just do the overworld shops, you have a good chance of getting, like, everything you need and just mashing through, right?
Now,
like, I was done checking shops too, right? Like, there was just nothing else I want and I needed, right? Like, when I got the elven arrow, the elven bow, I was just like, that's it, right? Like, that is a good enough bow.
Now, yeah, Mechalink, I also want just to clarify, did not want to downplay your play through saying it was a con seed. You played it fantastic.
You
Uh,
did.
So,
Right. I mean, and the pan helped here because getting the pan incentivizes us to hope that, right, like the path of the underworld isn't through Eblin, so we can do that all in one go, right? Like, so that pan drove me away from Eblin, right? No need to check chests with Earth, and right, like we didn't need characters, right? Like it would have been nice, but like that kept me away from diving Earth Crystal.
right.
So it's kind of like, and then when I picked up Tella, I was like, okay, right, like I'm gonna need to do ordeals more than likely, right? Like, and if the bosses are terrible, like somehow, like I don't know what terrible bosses would look like for the quad adamant armor team.
Yeah, not many.
But yeah, should the worst happen, right? Like, you know, like Wyvern, right? Like Wyvern would like. But Wyvern didn't have Mega Flare, right? Like, so that would just be annoying, right? Like, we hadn't found lives, right? Like, that
Yeah, it
actually
would
would
have
have
to
been a
be.
problem, right?
It would have to be something weird,
but
like
yeah,
Wyvern with Meteo.
Yeah.
Not having access to lives and then, right, like having weak, you know, in theory opens up the grind, right? Like, so it's like I want to do, you know, in a lot of cases I end up wanting to do more deals, and with Adamance it was just easy, right? Like Golbez was funny too.
Yeah, he wanted to do stuff to you guys, but
he really wanted to. Did you notice that Shadow actually acted 3 times? Right,
Yeah?
like Shadow tried to kill 3 times, even though they'd only should have tried to act twice in theory. Right, like that was interesting.
even Shadow
but-
Great Dragons suffer from
Yeah.
denial once in a while.
Yeah,
Well, generally that fight is scripted to act 3 times, and when there's an item on that will block that, I believe he's just gonna act the 3 times as scripted.
that makes sense, right? Like it just checks for the 2 after each one, and
Right.
right, like that makes sense.
So-
that makes sense.
So as long as more than 2 are up, it's gonna do the act. But
Right, right.
but
So
did you
for
say? And you
character-
saw?
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, you saw what was at the Earth Crystal spot, correct?
No, I didn't. What was that?
Magma key.
Oh no! Oh no! Everybody!
Yeah.
Oh, that could
Yep.
send you down a rabbit hole. But then, if you're watching the channel, you see all these quick finishes, and you probably audible, right?
And that's exactly how it played out. Shams and
Yep.
Z-Man decided to go Earth Crystal, found the 5th character as Yang, got the Magma Key,
Yang, okay.
having the pan, thought, hey, 3 free key items right off the bat, and as soon
Enough.
as the done started flowing in, went straight to ordeals.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. This treasure forest or shops forest is super weird because you don't check all the chests that are open to you, right? Like you burn through, right? Like you open one chest in Antlion Cave. You just like it's so different from how you normally kind of run a seed.
Yeah, you kind of have to tell yourself, I don't have to open these chests.
yeah,
It's
don't-
okay.
Yeah, for a second, I even though it was a free lunch, right? Like I didn't go to Damison immediately, right? Like I went over and checked Cobb's first, and I was like, well, even though I don't want the chest in Damison, like there's still a character there, right? Like
Yeah.
I probably do in fact need to check it, right? Because otherwise, like without the chest, like why?
Well, Poidrac has just transformed Dark Elf, but instead of using weak, he's gonna stop the Dark Elf. So
Oh, that's I don't think that's faster, but it's certainly safe.
absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Well, he stops him in the name of love and then decides to throw a whole bunch of Artemis arrows at him, and it's going to take him out pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure. Right. I noticed that that Edward's damage jumped up when he went Dark Elf. I'm like, oh yeah, Artemis arrows.
Yep. Yep.
So
And it looks
Yeah.
like Shamstron's probably gonna go climb on up the. He just picked up his darkness crystal, so
okay, that
He
good.
does have
Good.
10 key items, so if
Wow.
he chose to do any kind of grind, he could get to wherever he wanted right away. But I think he's going to check that boss. He's going to see his Dark Elf.
and
And
Poidrac just downed the dark elf, so
nice.
Nice.
they
Yeah.
will have no problem with Evil Wall once he runs back there.
No, I did notice Evil Wall actually had a ton of damage output, right? Like for low level party with adamants, right? Like he actually did almost down edge for me, right? Like he actually had a really good amount of damage output, right?
Yeah. Evil
In the
Walls, he can be a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
He really can.
Yeah, if he's fast and he hits hard, right? Like he can really you know.
Yeah, he's one of
But
those bosses
I
that
did-
if you see like in the King Queen Eblon spot, you're like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
no,
Oh,
or
yeah.
Leviathan, you're like, oh my god. But here,
Terrible
I think
spot.
as long as you're getting alive to the crush phase and you get to that
Yeah.
point, that's gonna
Yeah, I mean,
whiff on adamant.
Now,
Right, it's free in the crush phase. Yeah.
Poidrac just used the MP underflow glitch. For any of you who don't know what that is, if you select a spell that you can use out of battle, that when you're low on MP, when it's grayed out, you select it, move down and select that empty spot quickly. In the same frame, it will underflow and wrap your MP around. So Poidrac did that with Rosa and Tella for this last fight. So that's
Mark.
what you saw him do.
Yeah, it's actually any inactive slot, not empty, right?
Oh, just
so,
inactive?
Yeah, like so Cure 4 to Cure 3, right? Like you get down to point where you can't cast Cure 4, and then you do it from Cure 3 to Cure 4. Right?
Oh, okay.
No, it's
Pink tail from Tower, by the way.
Well,
Pink
just in
tail
case
from
we
Tower.
need more adamants, you know.
but yeah, and then I guess that gives him Meteo in case he needs it, right? Like not a bad plan at all.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Meteo is, that'll usually do about quad 9s, so.
No,
I think it
Meteo.
always does.
Yeah, Meteo could have like if that had been CPU, for example, right? Like Meteo might have been okay. Baigen, like love a Meteo against a Baigen, right? Like
Oh, Z-Man's about to jump down a rabbit hole of the Twin Harp.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get music.
oh, hey, switch over there.
Well, Mechalink, GG to you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us for the interview.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that you got to get somebody that kind of followed the fast thread, so you got to see it.
Yeah.
Let you finish commentary. It sounds like you'll have someone finishing up pretty shortly.
Yeah, Poidrac's about to finish. So thank you to you, GG, and hope you have a
GG's.
fantastic night.
Yep, thank you.
So let's go ahead and wrap up all the finishes we've got. After Mechalink, we had Greifstar in 5th, 27.19. Swanee Wrath 11 is in 6th, 27.55. Mortal Imago, 29.06, 7th place. Chokosura in 8th, 30 minutes, 34 seconds. Silver Fire in 9th.
Skipping ahead to our featured runner, Poidrac finishes with 14th place, at an official SRL time of 35 minutes and 28 seconds.
Yep, and let's see, wrapping up 8, we'll go turbo here. Silver Fire 9th, 31.33. Fred Coughlin 10th, 31.44. Invenerable 11th, 34.02. Doctor of Spin 34.21, 12th, and Rumblefish in 13th at 34.28. GG's to all y'all. And I think we might have Poidrac coming in here for an interview.
Yup. Once he gets in, we're going to get music in just a second. So we're going to hold real quick on that. And there's Poidrac. GG to you. We're going to hang on 1 second for our interview because we're going to listen to some music.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Rebel Army.
So, Poidrac, how about that seed?
I'm not actually sure what to make of it. Yeah, it was fun, definitely.
That was probably one of the fastest times I've ever seen in a seed, period. So what made you, I think at one point you were kind of tasked with the decision of Darkness Crystal or Earth Crystal, or I'm sorry, Ordeals or Earth Crystal. What made you kind of lean toward going to Ordeals?
It was in my route. You might have noticed that I was going through shops and then just going back around the loop. It was pretty much Ordeals, then Earth Crystal, or whatever happened after for me there.
Well, it was absolutely the right call because the Earth Crystal held the Magma Key, and that was the big proverbial trapdoor in this seed, finding the magma key and deciding to go underground to get all the goodies when your key to going upstairs was right on Mount Ordeals. Now, how'd you feel about those last two boss fights?
I could have gone through that without actually doing the grind, which is a bit unfortunate, but I was a little bit hesitant for the second boss.
Well,
the first one I had a feeling I could get through, but the second one I wasn't too sure because I didn't know what it was.
Well, Poidrac, the grind probably was good. Right now, Shamstron is in that fight, and the Dark Elf has laid out Tella before he could cast Weak, so he's trying to get Tella up. But so the grind actually probably was good. Wasn't the worst thing in the world.
It was the adamants really that was helping me more than the adamant armors, more than the grind, I think, in that fight, because everything that he did was pretty much non-threatening with the adamant armors.
Yeah, and that's just
Did the previous seed's boss encounters influence your decision to grind at all?
Yes, because I know those two spots are difficult, and even with the even wall spot, I was still getting hit from more than one. In the case of Edward and Edge, so if I didn't do a little bit, it would have been maybe disastrous on that part.
Yeah, Mechalink
because they were my damage dealers.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Mechalink did bring up the same thing, and he was surprised that Evil Wall was doing as much damage to Edge as he was, and he eschewed the grind, and he ended up all right. But Evil Wall was doing pretty good even against Adamant, so I totally understand that.
I think it's because that spot has unusually high attack power because you don't see it with CPU. It's sort of like the Land of Summer monster bosses. They have extremely high attack power. I think that the CPU spot is the same.
Yeah, they have a high stat for something that they never use.
Yeah, the attack for CPU can only do 1/10 of your max HP, so from the attacker. So there's no reason to have, the CPU stat the attack stat doesn't influence much. Yeah, Shamstron just got hit
for 1,044. Yeah.
Ow!
Oh, Tella just got hit for
Tella for 2,500. Oh my goodness! Someone returned these adamant armors. I don't think they made them correctly.
Well, he's hitting those.
Do we know what the last character was? Because I only had 4 going into it.
That was Yang at the Earth Tower, or the Tower of Plot. Yep. Zai, sorry.
He could have been useful in those last 2 fights, but obviously wasn't necessary, I suppose.
Yeah, he was a nice luxury. Probably not who you would want it to see as the 5th character, but perfectly capable.
Supremacy in chat. The Tower of Plot is now canon.
Well, that's what it is, right? Like, we have a floating tower and we don't know where to put it.
Z-Man is clearing out Baron. Looks like the king is replacing the king. The king and queen of Eblan are on the throne of Eblan.
Not satisfied with Eblan, he decides to try to take on Baron as well.
Yep.
Well, enjoy the rest of the race. I'm gonna head out and maybe I'll catch it. People in chat.
Thank you, Poidrac, and GG to you.
And Sham should be wrapping it up, probably wondering why he got adamant armor knockoffs, because they don't seem to be blocking the physical damage as much as you'd like.
The adamant armors will be mostly beneficial for those in the back row.
Yeah.
Which is why we're throwing the blinks on Edge, but he's getting pretty darn close to him. He's going to start crushing soon. Unless Adamant blocks Crush. That I'm not sure about. And we will never know because he finishes the fight.
Yeah. I kind of would have liked to see him take out the entire front row, then Edward decides the soul of the evil wall and be like, yeah.
Adamant, Night Dew tells me Adamant does block Crush, so we don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, it was... As long as you got to their crush phase, you were fine. Now the only thing that's crushed is the evil wall itself. So let's see if we can get Shamstron in here. He finishes Let's see. In
9
19th place.
with a time of 42:31.
Man, these times.
I know, it's silly. Let's see, I was talking, I'm looking to commentate this race, because I haven't commentated since the Highway to the Zima Zone, so I was really itching, had the itch. So, I was like, this is a good one. This will probably be around an hour. Was I wrong?
Yeah, I was looking at the seeds like, hey, this is my first time commentating. This would be good. It's not like a K4 where we got to talk for 2.5 hours because they put the crystal in Soul Cave or something. Like, no, this will be fast. But man, this seed was over faster than the Jets game on Sunday. Like, oh my goodness.
Z-Man is about to kick himself once he sees what's at the top of Ordeals.
Yeah. Golbez is going to have his... he's going to try to feed his Shadow Dragon. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out. And they're going to be saying, ha ha ha.
And he's going to be saying, why?
Yes, he's full, though he never ate. Oh, there's Shams. I think he's going to be coming in pretty soon.
And there's Shams. GG.
Thank you.
Well, how about that seed?
Well, I knew it was dodging Mount Ordeals was going to be a great play or a horrible play, and I think we all know what it ended up being. So.
Yeah.
I made my decision. It happened. I'll take it.
Well,
Yeah,
and several people made that decision too, and really, Ordeals eats up a lot of time, and if it's something like the spoon or, adamant, there's no point. So, yeah, as you said, it could be a great play, it could be not a great play. What's the saying? Rando's gonna rando.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Other than that, I was pretty happy with everything, especially finding Edge and his weapons right away and the adamant. So I just knew it was more of a scavenger hunt than anything else. And luckily didn't get walled by any particular bosses that got around it. So wasn't that bad.
I mean, you have 12 key items at 42 minutes. That's pretty good time.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And also, living on the East Coast is happy to finish one of these before midnight. It starts at 10:30 for me, so
Yeah.
great for working in the morning.
Yes. Well, so climbing up then. Wow, sorry. Climbing up the Giant of Babel there, seeing Dark Elf there. What are your thoughts? Or what was going through your head?
For some reason, I thought he had less health than that, so it was taking a lot longer. And then I was ready for the week, and then I think it might have been too cute just avoiding giving Tella the adamant because I just wanted to keep his agility low, and then quickly found out why you should have the adamant on him for that case.
It does. I guess
Yeah.
he was in the front row too, so he was taking some hefty hits.
Yeah, honestly, now that I think of it, it's basically I just wanted to do as little as menuing as possible because I thought I was on a good track, and then probably could have just had him in the back with the two front row people, but I just didn't want to bother with anything. But the scary thing, honestly, is that I just auto-assumed that my adamant was going to save me from whatever physicals from the last boss, and didn't realize Evil Wall hits that hard at that spot. So luckily I didn't have to redo Dark Elf.
But Knight D pointed out in chat too that with the adamants on, you're immune to crush, so he would have just kind of sat there and let you finish him off.
Oh yeah.
Z-Man just picked up his Darkness Crystal, so he's probably going to climb up the Giant of Babel while saying some swear words the whole way up.
Oh, yeah. Good thing I was on mute, so I'll say that.
You did bring up a good point about menuing, though. With a seed that has times that are this low, being able to save 30 to 40 seconds with your menuing may not mean as much in an hour and a half seed, but in a 22-minute seed, we had a lot of close times. So that's a very good point.
I think if he added 40 seconds to me, I may have been one place, maybe two places lower than I was.
I mean, the difference between 7th place and 11th place was like 2 minutes. Difference between, like, we had a couple that finished 6 seconds apart, a couple that are 7 seconds apart. So that menuing, that's a very good point. That's kind of one of those things you pick up as one of those things you want to practice a little bit. But here on this seed, that's a big deal.
Oh yeah, basically the second I found the adamants and a weapon for edge, I probably really didn't need to go to the aggregate weapon shop, but I just want to have a random thing just because I only had 3 people, so I want to have a sword if I ended up with or a weapon for Kane or anyone that I found afterwards. But after that, finding the rest, I was like, okay, I have my cure 3s, I have my lives. I would probably be even fine with the lives just to cure 3s, and that would have been enough.
Yeah, I think this race is going to be separated by those that did ordeals early and those that did not.
Yeah,
and
that's definitely the main deciding factor, and that ordeals thing, man. Whether or not you decide to skip it's kind of one of those decisions where you might have like, if I have this, or this, then I'll do the ordeals play early. But if I don't, then I don't want to, especially in a seed where everything is going to go quickly. If I waste 6 minutes doing Mount Ordeals, or maybe it don't take that long, but if I waste all that time doing Mount Ordeals and someone doesn't, I'm now 10th place or worse,
And a lot of things separated too. The earliest finishers poked their head in on that Dark Elf and saw that it was a free fight and was like, okay. Now, a big thing that could have changed some things here was if Ordeals was not required and we did not have Weak or any of those spells from Tella, so that could have made it a little more interesting.
Yeah, if you replace Tello with Porum or something like that, and maybe you replace the boss with, I don't know, Ogo Pogo or something like that, then maybe it gets a little more interesting. But this was one of those seeds where it just kind of lined up, and 20 minutes later, here we are. The Z-Man's going to find out who this boss is. Should be pretty happy about it.
Well, Shamstron, G, did you any final thoughts before we roll into Z-Man's final fight here?
No, just thank you for having me, and I'll have to live with the decisions. So, all good, and have a good one.
All right,
Have a
GG,
great
man.
night, GG.
See ya.
So that Dark Elf, not really doing that much. Sadly, between Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 4, he lost the instant death spell. Good for these guys.
Fortunately for them, yes. But his weak is kind of nasty.
Yeah.
He'll go through with the berserking on edge. The whisper will not be a problem. Oh, we're gonna berserk Edward as well.
This may not. Let's see. Rosa may actually hit the floor here.
Oh no! Right as one.
Oh.
The kill shot for 1 HP on Rosa.
Yeah, this should be a relatively easy fight. I was trying to think. What do you think would be the worst? Like I saw Kainazo in an earlier seed. What do you think would be the worst bosses in this spot?
This spot can be particularly nasty. Now we had Adamant, so that helps. But this can be nasty with Antlion. He's pretty quick. This can be, as you said, Kenyazo. Nasty. Ogopogo could be pretty nasty.
Yeah, Ogo doesn't care about your armor.
No, he does not. Yeah. Without grinding, Leviathan could be tough.
Yeah, Paladin would be annoying, especially if you really don't like that slow animation, because you're going to see it about 732 times. Oh, yes, Val without Kane. Oh, no. Well, we knew right away, because Val was the one who decided it was at the start. But yes, if this had been Val without Kane,
Goldbears wouldn't be too bad because of the adamants and you have wall, so you could just pretty much put a wall on those you wanted alive. Bahamut, same. With your Artemis and your walls, you're pretty golden. Without adamants, yeah. Odin could be nasty.
I think we ran a seed earlier this weekend where Odin was at this spot, and it kind of lent you to the strategy of doing the Thunderstruck thing, which had never done before. So that's always interesting. Yeah, where you have to hit him with a lightning spell right when he cues on his 3rd, 6th, or 9th sword raise.
Z-Man getting the week off on the Dark Elf, and Edward with the final blow.
Yeah. Oh, Edward's 2 for 4.
Edward is useful. Ugh. Once again. Ugh. Can't believe
I know the odds say that it should be 50% that you see one of them, but I kind of feel like as soon as you switch it to C3, the game's like, have all these bards and all these sages, they're gonna be in your party.
And I'm weird, but I'm in the camp. I actually enjoy finding Tella, because Tella can be useful in the right situations.
I see Tella, I'm like, hey, look, an anchor. Edward, I kind of just having that one fight where it's like evil wall where you're hiding Edward and evil wall. Stop hitting yourself.
No, I'm
like
talking
something
about
like that. That's pretty neat.
I'm talking V2. If I'm playing V2, finding a Tella is actually not too bad.
Oh, for sure.
And Z-Man at Evil Wall. His adamants are working.
He did not get the designer knockoffs. The Wadamant.
But he's got Tella in the back row, so that is also making a difference there. And also Tella in a seed with J items for Soma drops. You can get him to use Meteo, and that really helps his early bosses. With glitches on, MP Underflow, you can use Meteo.
Yeah, and even without it, now that we talk about it, having another source of wall when you don't actually have veils of any kind is pretty welcome, especially having it at an early level.
Tella is just really tough to take to the Zeromus fight. He just, it's...
Yeah.
You're going to get him maybe to use one attack to nerf a Big Bang, but after that, bleh. Let's see, and he should be wrapping this up very quickly.
Yeah, it should be any second now.
And it was that second. Z-Man finishes with an official SRL time of 56 minutes and 19 seconds. As we watch Evil Wall crumble into the ground, we're going to get Z-Man in here and talk to him a little bit before we wrap up the restream. Z-Man! GG!
Thank you. Well, that didn't work.
Well,
Z-Man!
yeah, this was one of those seats where
and this is what happens with rando sometimes. I mean, I purposely avoided ordeals because who cares about Tella, and let's just go everywhere else but ordeals, and well, oops.
yeah, it's a tricky one. Like how many seeds have we run where we decide to run ordeals and there's nothing there and we've lost like 5 minutes?
Oh yeah,
in a
absolutely.
seat where you're expecting the time to be somewhere around 50 minutes to an hour. Do you really want to add 5% to it?
Right, and that's exactly what I was thinking. And I had a pretty good party, so why not go up to Zot before going to ordeals? And if there was anything but the Magma Key at Zot, ordeal is my next play. But because it was the Magma Key there, oh look, I get to go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, that was the killer. Had that been the hook, I think you would have seen a lot of the times kind of fall into place because people
Oh,
would have
yeah.
been like, I don't want to do that hook fight without having a fully armed Tella. Now, what was when you started to see some of the dot duns roll in at just over the 20-minute mark? What was going through your head at that time?
Oh, I minimized my IRC, so I never saw any of the dot duns.
Okay.
Like, I have no idea. What was the winning time?
25 minutes.
Just over the 20-minute mark. See, I want to. Yeah,
25:01, I believe.
22:59.
22:59. That's right. Sorry. That was the first free stream. Yeah.
25 minutes.
Yep. So that was in this seed. This seed rolls into two people. Those that did or that chose ordeals, and those that did not.
Yep.
So, and which it's not the wrong play. It's not the wrong play. It's just the wrong play.
Yeah, exactly. Rando's going to rando. I mean, there's not much I can do with that. It is what it is, and I'm not upset. I had fun. It was a blast of a seed to play, and for full clearing everything, still sub-houring, I'm going to take it.
That's right. You had 15 of 17 key items, I think. Was that right?
I did. Yeah, I did indeed.
15 in sub-hour is pretty darn good.
So hey, I went about and did my thing, and hey, it's like I said, I was going for. I mean, really, I was going for the win. I was going for, well, as best as I could, and I figured the best way to do that, don't do ordeals. And well, whoops, it kind of went kaboom. Oh well, no big deal.
But it was this was actually definitely man, words. This was a fantastically fun seed to watch. It was
I can
interesting
imagine.
to watch the divergence, watch how everyone, the different paths that everyone took. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, thank you guys for doing it, and thanks to Demi for the restream. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad everybody had a good time.
Absolutely. Well, GG to you. And I believe we're gonna wrap up soon. But yes, I did want to thank our restreamer Demarine. Fantastic job restreaming tonight, as well as our tracker Nightdew. Up in the chat there has the links to their channels, Nightdew14, Demarine 2. And also thank you to my co-commentator tonight, Flurry14.
Oh, thank you very much. You made this super easy on a first timer. Don't forget, guys, if you like what you see and you want to start getting into free enterprise, the website is, I believe, FF4FE.com. Check it out. Community is super welcoming. It's been just an absolute blast getting to know everybody around here. If you want to do, there you have the links in chat. We do community races every Monday at this time, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. We also do them on Fridays at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. So be sure to check them out.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's, as you were saying, it's just a wonderful community to get into. The Discord's linked in chat, as well as the website for Free Enterprise. And we're going to throw it over to Randomania 2, who has the Link to the Past Challenge Cup going on. So I guess that's pretty much all we got. And
Yeah.
thank you, and have a great night, everybody.